What's up everybody, it's your boy Mad Boda back again, this time bringing you my super guide for Falstad. Falstad is a hero who excels at soaking experience and dealing a ton of damage. He can clear waves with speed and duels well in one-on-one situations. His global presence with flight makes him one of the most menacing and impactful heroes even from across the map. And with the almighty Gust as a possible heroic, Falstad is easily one of the most powerful characters in Heroes of the Storm. But without further ado, let's get right into it, shall we? Falstad has two major talent builds that he can take into a match in Heroes of the Storm. He has some room for diversity at a few key levels, but let's start by taking a look at the Seasoned Marksman build. First off, at level 1, we're going to take Seasoned Marksman. Seasoned Marksman is a talent that scales as we kill minions and heroes over the course of the game and gives us even more attack damage. The amount of damage that you can do with Seasoned Marksman is just absolutely unbelievable, especially late game. Because you can spend so much time splitting, you're going to get a lot more stacks than other characters who have similar talents to Seasoned Marksman, which is going to make you even more of a late game superpower. At level 4, we're going to take Hammer Gains. This gives us some lifesteal. Not only does this help us in one-on-one matchups that we find ourselves in a lot of the time when we're split pushing, but it scales directly with Seasoned Marksman, meaning that the later the game goes, the more lifesteal we're going to get and the more of a late game threat we're going to become. At level 7, I suggest Boomerang. Even though Secret Weapon has a lot of synergy directly with auto attacks, it really only synergizes for 3 auto attacks at a time, and that's not usually enough to warrant taking it over Boomerang, which can clear minion waves very fast, allowing you to push more during your split pushes, get more stacks for your Seasoned Marksman, and also be a threat to pushing buildings before you fly into a fight. Overall, just increasing everything you do, whereas Secret Weapon only increases your auto attacks. At level 10 though, I always will recommend taking Mighty Gust. Mighty Gust, in my opinion, is the most powerful spell in the entire game. There's so much you can do with it, to the point where I'm probably just going to make an entire video on what you can do with it. Just know that Gust can do more than disengage or engage a fight. Try being creative with your use of Gust in your games. Moving right on to level 13, we're going to take Giant Killer. We're already all about our auto attacks, so let's just keep going all in on our auto attacks. You're going to likely find yourself hitting tanks very frequently, which means the bonus damage that you get as percent health against tanks with Giant Killer is going to be very crucial to you being able to break through the front line. Level 16, you can really take any of these 3 talents, but personally I like Crippling Hammer. The increased slow allows us to chase down heroes with relative ease. Now you might argue that Airy Gust does the same thing by increasing your movement speed from 15% to 25%, but that's only when you have Tailwind. You're likely going to get your Tailwind knocked off, so it's just not as consistent. Lastly, Afterburner is good, but I usually only take it when I'm playing against a lot of heavy gap closing characters on the other side, like Valera or Zeratul or the Butcher or Illidan. The extra movement speed right after barrel rolling usually gives enough distance to escape these characters and then turn around and kill them. After that, we're going to go right on to level 20. So at level 20, Nexus Frenzy is going to be the standard go-to, just because we're auto attack build. Obviously, we're auto attack build, this increases our attack speed, there's synergy there. But that's not to undermine that you do have the choice of taking Epic Mount as well. And Epic Mount is incredible. It takes your basic fly skill and not only enhances it as the basic flight skill, but it also allows you to use flight as a pseudo Bolt of the Storm just for Falstad. This allows you to make a lot of cool crazy plays in team fights if you have your flight cooldown, and it also allows you to escape relatively quickly and save your Gust for team fights. Now that we've talked a little bit about Falstad's primary build, the Seasoned Marksman build, let's talk a little bit about his secondary build, the Mage build. The Mage build starts off with Gathering Storm at level 1. Every time Hammering hits a hero, it increases its damage by 1.5. Needless to say, unlike Seasoned Marksman build, you're going to be spending a lot of your early game trying to get into fights in order to stack your quest. At level 4 it stays the same with Hammer Gains because that lifesteal is just too important, and level 7 it's also the same with Boomerang. This time, since we're stacking our Hammerang, it makes more sense to go for more Hammerang quests at level 7 than it would anything else. Level 10, we still take Gust because Gust is still one of the most impactful spells in the game. Disengage, re-engage, cut them into pieces, make a pick happen. There's a lot of things that this talent can do. Moving right on to level 13, this is where the build starts to vary from its predecessor. We're going to be taking Flow Rider. When Tailwind is active, Falstad's basic abilities recharge 100% faster. Tailwind is, if you don't get hit, you're going to have bonus move speed, and now that bonus move speed is going to let you spam your spells like crazy. The problem with Flow Rider is that if you lose it, there's a 6-second cooldown before your Tailwind comes back. So you're gonna spend a lot of your team fight trying to dodge, otherwise you're not going to get a lot out of this talent. In order to compensate for it having such a long cooldown though, at level 16 we can take Airy Gust, reduce the activation time of Tailwind from 6 seconds to 3 seconds. There's also a nice little cherry on top of increasing the move speed bonus to 25%. Basically, this is all about trying to keep your Tailwind active. That way you can spend more time smashing people's faces in with lightning hammers, and less time dead on the ground. At level 20 with this build, I recommend taking Epic Mount. Epic Mount is just so good. We touched on it a little bit at the end of the Season Marksman build, but being able to fly around the map more frequently and faster gives Falstad the ability to generate a lot of picks. And late game, with a big burst damage build and pick potential, you can turn nearly every fight into a 4v5 before the fight even happens. Of course, your other options are to take Wind Tunnel or Nexus Frenzy. Sometimes I'll take Nexus Frenzy if I'm trying to finish the core right as I hit level 20, and other times I'll take Wind Tunnel. Wind Tunnel I usually only take if I'm playing on a map where I have to secure bosses, or if the enemy team is really hard engaged, like Butcher ETC Hunt or something. This way, I can disengage the enemy team quickly and give my team time to regroup before we commit to blowing somebody up with my burst damage. Alright y'all, here at the end I'm going to leave you with a little bonus round. This here is 2 of the starts of my games that I played for this video. One is the Gathering Storm talent quest, the other is the Season Marksman quest. I wanted to share these with you so that you could see how when I play the Gathering Storm talent quest, I am prioritizing getting in fights in order to stack my quest, versus when I'm on the Season Marksman quest, I'm prioritizing soaking as many lanes as possible, rotating between mid and bottom in order to maximize stacking that quest instead. Every little bit counts, yeah, so make sure you're taking this tactic into all of your games when you play Falstad. But that's all I got for you guys today. This video was, of course, once again sponsored by Nihilism Gaming. Check them out at nihilismgaming.com. And if you want to follow along with their Falstad guide, the link is in the description below. Till next time, peace!